Good morning, and yesterday we had a little bit of a talk about the Active Mum story, and we were going to split it into several parts and tell what's happened over the last 10 years. So yesterday we talked about how the Active Mum idea came about, how we started it off in a small community centre with 2 participants, and it quickly grew from there. And we also had the Mums and Bubs program starting, and we were running that outdoors as well. So what happened from there is about 4 to 5 months in, the classes in the community centre started to get really busy, as did the outdoor Mum and Bub program. And the ladies were all bringing their fit balls along with them that I'd given them to class. And I started to think that it'd be really great to have a place, have a studio where they could come and all of the equipment was already there, but also that there'd be some other services that pregnant women and mum really needed, and it could all be there under one space. So I started to think about, okay, a women's health physio is so important. There's so much they can do to help the female body. Counselling with so much pre and postnatal depression, that could be a great service. Massage. So I came up with this idea, okay, let's build a studio where they can come for the exercise component but have all of these other services under the same roof, so that it could be a one-stop shop for pregnant women and mums. So I came up with the idea. I found a studio very quickly, and it was going to be in the old Sizzler, underneath the old Sizzler at Baulkham Hills. So that's where I secured the first lease on a studio. It's a very small premises. The studio area was only like 80 square metres, and then I had 3 consulting rooms for the physio, the counsellor and massage. And so we fitted out and built this first studio, and we opened the doors, and the program started to get really, really popular. But let me show you some photos from the very first studio. So here is our fitball wall. We had fitballs, and I painted a lot of things pink, and here's some of the first pregnant ladies in the class. You'll see here we had our little consulting rooms down the hallway that we'd fitted out and had the programs happening there, and just some more mums with their babies. So anyway, in fitting out the studio, and while this was all happening, I started to then source some practitioners, and I met this amazing girl, Trisha Chink, and she was about to start her business, Sydney Women's Physiotherapy. And so we decided to team up, and she had a room there at the studio, and it was really amazing working with her. We worked together at that studio for about 6 years, and it was great. She'd bring people in that really needed some help, and she would start to get them on track, start to rehabilitate them, and then she could pass them over to our programs, and then we could further help to get them fit and strong. And it was really lovely being able to work alongside her, because we got to learn so much about what happens to the female body during pregnancy, post-birth, and pretty much any complication that came our way we were then able to deal with. So yeah, Trisha worked with us for a long time, which was amazing. And yeah, the studio grew and grew, and I finally remember some Saturday mornings for pregnancy class, I think I had 16 fit balls, and one Saturday morning I had 24 women booked in, so I was madly in the car park pumping up extra fit balls. And the program got really popular, so we stayed in that studio for quite a long time. We were also running the Mums and Bubs activities outdoors, because those classes were really, really big, and most of the time we were outdoors in the park unless it rained. So here's some early day pics of the women in the park with their prams, and it became really, really fun. Here they all are again. We'd use different parks. These were the early day ladies, mums with their babies on the grass, more ladies with their prams. So the Mums and Bubs program stayed in the park unless it rained, and yeah, we continued that way there at Baulkham Hills for a number of years. I think the studio at Baulkham Hills we had for 6 years, and so that was all about Baulkham Hills and what happened there. And tomorrow we'll talk about how we started to get our next studio, but today is just all about building that first studio, the trials and tribulations, trying to fit out a premises, never having done that before, and just getting people in the door. So that's the Active Mum Story Part 2. More for you tomorrow.